All right, fam. So this is the wax for 2024. This is my dedicated wax spot. We're gonna let that cool. What you got going on there, boy? Huh? Huh? Your mama's boy in there? That what mama shouldn't raise little boys? They dressing like little girls. This is what's up, fam. So today we are going to be rendering some beeswax. For those of you who are not familiar, beeswax is naturally produced by honeybees. So, by being naturally produced, that means some of the wax is not naturally produced. But what we're talking about today is beeswax that we have harvested from our hives. I'm going to start explaining more in detail why we do the things we do, the love we have for it, and the reasons why we love it. So, like I said, today we are going to be rendering out some beeswax. So, those of you who may be thinking about raising bees, y'all may only be thinking about the amazing honey that you can get from the bees. And it is amazing, guys. But it is so much more that comes with raising bees. So much you can get from raising bees. Now, I'm not going to talk about all of it today, but we are going to be talking about the amazing process of getting wax. So when we harvest our honey, there's a capping on front of the honey that we remove and store so we can render it down and reuse it for various things. So that's just one of the things that you're gonna get. You're gonna get the honey, you're gonna get the wax, you're gonna get propolis, you're gonna get the mental, you're gonna get the education, you're gonna get all that. All that gonna come from a little insect. I'm gonna tell you, once you get into it and find out how the hive work and see all that it takes to become a beekeeper, it's not what you think. You're not just gonna get a hive, put it in your backyard, and this amazing thing gonna happen. No, it takes education and diligence. Yes, it can be some work, especially when you live someplace like here in the South, where it gets 100 degrees outside. So imagine putting in a full suit on in 100-degree weather, lifting hundreds of pounds. Guys, when you raise bees, you get a whole lot from it. You get amazing honey. Ooh, you get some of that amazing wax. You get propolis. You get an education. You get therapy. I mean, so many amazing things. And you get the knowledge of knowing that you are helping nature do its thing. It's a lot of things that goes on that makes a hive go awry. And beekeepers keep all that stuff away so that hive can prosper and do what it needs to do. So the learning thing you're gonna get from it, when you see those bees go out and they come back, and then you know that there are so many different bees in that hive that's doing the job to make one thing work, the community of the hive. So as we render this wax, keep one thing in mind. Each bee produces about a dime size in wax. And when you see how much wax I'm rendering, you're gonna have to just imagine how many bees it took to produce that. When I say a dime size, that's in their whole lifetime. Think about the production of wax. It's limited only by what the bees can produce. No machines, no chemicals, just the bees' wax. So when you look at how much all natural beeswax costs, you can understand why it costs what it costs. So wax is in limited production. Like I said, only what the bees can actually produce. The demand is high. So when you think of wax, think of all the amazing things that's done with wax from bees. Things like candles, cosmetics, foods, and so many other products like lubricants, waterproofing agents, polishes, thickeners, and also fragrance for soaps and perfumes. Like so many things, guys. It's amazing. Guys, a real beeswax candle, it burns slower, so that means you get much more light. It smokes less, and it emits negative ions, which remove allergens and dust from the air, which is ultimately good for you and your family. All right, fam. So this is the wax for 2024. Like I said, one bee creates about a dime size amount of wax in its whole lifetime. So this is a bunch of bees putting in a lot of work. Honey, still in some of these captains, and other things that we do not want in our finished product. So the way we are going to resolve that, it's going to take a few different renderings, but we're going to start off with using a cheesecloth. All right, so guys, when you talk about the cost of beeswax, remember it took a bee his entire life to make that amount. It is well worth it. All right, fam. So this is my dedicated wax pot. Once you get a pot that you start rendering your wax on, it's no good for nothing else. So make sure you keep that pot and continuously use it. Now, as I have more hives, it's probably going to be beneficial for me to get a bigger pot. But I have to do it in batches. So what I'm going to do right now is put a little bit of water in the bottom. Okay, guys, so I have this collapsible strainer. I'm going to put it at the bottom of my pot. Wax melt at 147 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we get to 147 degrees, our wax should melt. Right? The cheesecloth should hold in a lot of the trash that's in the wax at this moment. So once we remove the cheesecloth, most of the trash should be removed with it. While the wax is inside the pot, and once it cooled down, it should solid up and we should be able to remove it. So and then I'm gonna collect it. Pretty exciting, right guys? We're gonna let that cool. So as you can see, once it started to cool off, all the wax started to rise. Now, there's still a lot of junk in there, so we will have to do this until we can get a cleaner product. I can't express to y'all how good this smells. The whole house smells like honey. It's already serving another purpose. It's illuminating the air with a amazing, wonderful smell. Of course, when you smell good stuff, it makes you feel good. What you got going on there, boy? Huh? Huh? Your mama's boy in there? That what mama shouldn't raise little boys? They dressing like little girls. All right, fam. So we have our first rendering done. All right. So I'm definitely gonna have to upgrade the size of my pot next year. Well, this year, so I can get all my wax done at one time. It took me 3 different renderings just to get it down for the first rendering, and this is what it looked like. So as you can see, there's still a whole lot of garbage left in this wax, but nowhere near as much as it was when I got started. So during the rendering, all the stuff that's left in this cheesecloth is the trash that came out of the wax. So I got some more water in my pot, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the second rendering. So basically, I'm gonna melt our wax back down again. Our objective is to get our wax back down to a liquid state, and then we're gonna try to remove some more of the trash from it. We're gonna screen out our next rendering. Where we're gonna do it, I got one of my dedicated crock pots, have a screener, and I'm gonna pour my hot wax through the screener and hopefully catch all, if not the majority of the junk that's still remaining in the wax. So I'm gonna line my screener with a paper towel, take my piping hot wax, see, and we're gonna pour it in. All right, fam. So we let this heat up, then we let it cool down, and now we're going to remove our wax. So we're gonna see what kind of condition our wax is in. Yeah, so we got some grime at the bottom. Look at it, guys. A beautiful, beautiful piece of wax. So with this, just take and you scrape off all the gunk. Wow, fam. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of wax. And I think it's fine. It don't need to be rendered anymore. There's some real fine particles at the bottom, which is nothing to be concerned about. But look how clean and pretty and yellow that wax is.